Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 3 of my best tips for tomorrow's racing. It's been a really good day for us today. We had a 16-1 winner with Glen Shiel, so that was a winner we really were craving out for. We'd had a bit of a hard month so far in October. We hadn't really had too many winners, but this week our fortunes seem to have turned a little bit, and thanks to Holly Doyle really. We had a 7-1 winner earlier in the week, and that's when actually we tipped her up on State Occasion, who broke the record for her again for the most wins by a female jockey in a calendar year. And also as well, Holly rode us a 16-1 winner today. So we really love Holly Doyle, especially here on our YouTube channel, and she really has boosted our form around in the last week or so. So our horses and selections have been running better. We've had a few more winners this week. We were really unlucky as well yesterday with fixed rate. So yeah, I'm glad that we got a nice price winner on the board, and fingers crossed it's all full steam ahead for a profitable October. So let's get into the tips for tomorrow. We've got 3 tips, some really good jump racing on Sunday, and we're going to start tomorrow with my nap, which runs in the 2:57 at Kempton. Now I'm going to be going with a horse here called Locker Room Talk for Jack Savage, claiming a handy £7, and he's riding for Nigel Twiston Davis, and both actually come in here with some fair form, both teamed up for a winner today at Stratford, so that's some as a positive there. But Jack Savage, some of you might be put off by the fact he is an amateur. However, he knows this horse really well and got a few wins on him last season. They had some nice performances together, winning tracks like Taunton. This horse was running in some nice novice chases as well, so he was a really progressive novice chaser last year, and I think he could still have a little bit more to come this season. Now, he was rated off the end of last season off a mark of 138, and the last time we saw him he actually finished 3rd behind Grenadine of Paul Nicholls, who was a really progressive chaser last year. And Locker Room Talk, like I said, he was running in a lot of nice races, and a lot of his form stacked up quite well. Now, he's a horse that likes to make all from the front. He's quite a good jumper, and if he gets an easy lead tomorrow, he might just have too much speed for some of these rivals. Now, obviously he will need the run, however that doesn't concern me too much. Nigel Twiston Davis is very capable of getting them fit, and with Jack Savage claiming the handy £7 off the horse's back, he's essentially running off a mark of 131, and like I said, I think some of his form from last season is the best form on offer in this race, and I think he is a little bit of the price. He's won at the course before as a hurdler, so that's another tick in the box. And like I said tomorrow, I just think he's a massive player in this race. You can currently back him at 7-1. I'm going to recommend an each way selection there, and I just think if he translates some of his form from last season, he's a dangerous player in this race, especially as well if they leave him loose on the lead. So Locker Room Talk is going to be my nap in the 2:57 at Kempton tomorrow, and fingers crossed we can get a good result there. We then don't have to wait too long actually for the next best, which runs in the 3:10 at Ffos Las with a horse called Lightly Squeezed for Sean Byrne and Harry Fry. Now, if you follow me on Twitter or listen to the In the Saddle podcast, you might remember that I actually put up this horse, Lightly Squeezed, for the Cesarovich last weekend, but unfortunately could only get in, or only got made the final field as a reserve, and unfortunately didn't get in the final field, so it was really unlucky there. And I do think if he had turned up in the race, he would have been a major player, this horse, because he had some nice form from last season, was really progressive over hurdles, won a few times, and ended up on a mark of 140 in the end, which I think is still a fair mark. And the last time we saw this horse over hurdles is when he still had every chance, when being at the front in the Betfair hurdle, when he was brought down, and that was a really horrible fall that day. But still, nonetheless, you know, he was very progressive over hurdles last year for Harry Fry. Now, this horse, we've seen him have one run so far this season when he finished in 3rd place at Haydock, and that form, despite it being a class 5, actually worked out really well, because the winner Billy No Mates went in again. You had Herman Hess in there that won a couple of times after that race at Catterick and Nottingham, and also as well you had Trumpet Man, who I think is now won 3 on the bounce. So the form of that Haydock race has worked out really well. Now, this is over hurdles tomorrow, but unlike some of his rivals tomorrow, he is going to be coming here after a recent run, and Harry Fry's team are just starting to hit form. They had a couple of winners at Uttoxeter on Friday, and this is the time of year Harry Fry really starts to come to his own, and this horse is still only 6 years old, and like I said, with the way it progressed last season, I wouldn't be at all surprised if it had a little bit more to offer this season. And like I said, with some of these horses needing a run, I think this horse is very capable of running a huge race tomorrow, and he can go on all kinds of ground. And Sean Byrne as well, he's going to be getting lots of opportunities this season with Harry Fry, now that Noel Feely is no longer riding, and Harry's got some nice horses, I think, to go to war with. And Lightly Squeeze, I think, could still have a bit more to come. This Welsh Champion hurdle is a handicap, and like I said, I think off a mark of 140 with a fitness edge over some of his rivals tomorrow makes him a dangerous player. You can back this horse at 7-1, and there's 4 places on offer with Paddy Power and Betfair. If you can still find that price with the extra places, I'll definitely be hoovering that up, and that's going to be my next best tomorrow. We then go to the Durham National at Sedgefield for the 4:33, and I'm going to be going with a horse here called Theligny. I think that's how you pronounce it, for Alan Johns and Tim Vaughan. You can currently back this horse at 12-1 with William Hill, who are offering 4 places. Now this horse, Theligny, we haven't seen him for quite a while. However, last time we saw him, he really did dug deep on heavy ground to win over a long 3 miles at Ffos Las. And if you go back again through this horse's profile, we haven't seen him too many times during the career. He's quite lightly raced for a 9-year-old. However, when he has raced, he's shown a high level of ability. He's got not a bad record fresh as well. He finished 2nd behind Copper West last season at Market Raising on his return, and also as well, he's won fresh before if you go back a few years ago. So catching him fresh is not a bad time at all. And like I said, he's 12-21. I think that's a big each way price, and he's got a lot more to come over staying trips. Now he's off a mark of 135, which I do think is fairly workable for him. There's quite a few horses in here that I think they won't be up to the standard that's required to win a race of this nature. Yes, you have to stay, but I think you still have to be quite well handicapped as well. There's a lot of horses in here, especially from the summer, that I think their form won't be able to translate, and for this Theligny, I think has got a good chance. And Tim Vaughan's team have started to just come into a little bit of form now. Okay, they haven't had a winner for a little while, for a couple of weeks. However, we put up one of their horses earlier in the week, looks now like Brian, who, to be fair, probably could have won that race at Carlisle, but that was a clear sign that I think his yard are coming into a little bit of form. And also as well, they tend to do quite well at this time of year, and they don't do too badly with their runners at Sedgefield. And I just thought there was a lot of things in favour of this horse tomorrow to run a nice race, and at 12-1 I think he could be a little bit underestimated in the market. And if he shows the ability he has done on some of his earlier form in his career, he's a major player and he's got a lot of untapped potential over staying trips. So Theligny, he's going to be my long shot of the day tomorrow, and you can currently back him at 12-1 each way with the 4 places on William Hill. So I'll quickly just recap through the tips there. In the 257 at Kempton, we go with Locker Room Talk, 7-1 each way, that's the nap. In the 310 at Ffos Las, we go 7-1 each way there, 4 places, Paddy, Power and Betfair, that's the next best. And then in the 433 at Sedgefield, we go with Theligny, 12-1 each way, 4 places, William Hill. So if you're enjoying these videos, please remember to give us a thumbs up if you're liking them. Also as well, if you haven't done so already, please remember to hit the subscribe button here to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoader15. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do as well, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a bit more about myself, check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.